Welcome to our webinar, Mascot Media Digital Solutions. I'm Jennifer Ocker, Senior Director of School Operations, and I'm joined today by Lev Willie, our Sales Engineer and Broadcast Manager. So today we're going to cover how our digital solutions can take your athletic program to the next level. If you're one of our print clients that's joining us today, thank you for being here. If you are not a print client, we would also love to talk to you about our schedule products and our ticket products and how they can complement the digital products. So we'll be sending out our contact info after the call, and we'll also be posting this to our LinkedIn, so you can reach out to us in either place. So just a couple housekeeping things. If you have any questions during the call, please use the Q&A that's in that menu down there at the bottom, and we'll stop several times during the webinar to answer questions. All right, Lev, you want to take us away?
Thank you for the introduction there, Jen, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and to those that are previous print customers or current print customers, thank you for allowing Mascot Media to be your partner, and we're excited to showcase our digital properties to you and those that have not seen it before. We think you'll be really excited with our technology that we're trying to bring into this next digital age. So again, my name is Lev Willie, and I'll be walking through the presentation today. A little bit about Mascot Media in general and our progress throughout this past year. COVID-19 really kind of spread the broadcasting and digital technology need for many schools throughout the country. And throughout 2020, thus far, entering 2021, over 2 million broadcast views and over 3 million users. Mascot Media's had the opportunity to work with over 1,100 schools to this point thus far. And so we've had a really great relationship with all of them and integrating, these new digital properties. For many of you, seeing some of these partners on your screen here, you'll notice many people that you work with on a day-to-day basis. And a goal of ours is to integrate all of these into a professional one-stop shop. As you can see here on the screen, tying your e-ticketing, your scheduling, your streaming providers, live scoring, all into a mobile app and website property that we'll demonstrate today is a really neat piece of technology that your fans, your community, and everyone can easily access to get everything surrounding your athletic department. And obviously, if you are a leader in print and you see these custom websites and apps today, you'll notice all these key different features that go with our different solutions, our different features on our app, including schedule, scores, rosters, news that tie in from all those key different partners. And lastly, live broadcasting that we'll go over briefly today as well. So before we jump into the live demo today, does anyone have any questions for us before we get started?
Yes, Lev, we have one. We stream with NFHS. How do those streams get to the app and website?
Awesome. Yes, we will go ahead and jump straight into the demonstration of that. So working with the NFHS network they are a really great partner of ours, and we're really happy to be working with them throughout the mobile app and website property. Jen, just confirming before I go into more details, can you see the iPad on the screen there?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So for fans, as you can see here, we'll be highlighting the state of Texas today throughout the presentation. Your custom app and website is built towards you. And as you see, custom branding will highlight Highland Park today. You'll click your custom app icon, and it'll bring you to your home screen here. For those NFHS network events, your fans will be able to easily access all of those separate events that would usually be promoted with separate links throughout a daily basis on your different social media profiles, and instead are all promoted through your unified sports network. So for the first time ever, in a March Madness type feel, when you're streaming many different events from your Pixel cameras to your student-led broadcasting through the network, it can all be brought into this one-stop shop and easy to find, as you can see on the home screen here of the app, via the broadcast menu with all the upcoming broadcast schedules for all your different events. Great question. So that's a great transition to the app and speaking on what the app does in general. So as I mentioned, it's custom built to your brand, reinforcing your branding, your school colors. That's a really big core of what makes this app really thrive for your school and your athletic program. Hitting on the homepage here, you'll notice a lot of the key different pieces of information that fans try to look for on a daily basis. A full list of your upcoming events, but not just that, the live broadcasting notifications and a reminder so they can install it into their calendar on their iPhone or Android device. An important announcement centered around hub alerts. So for the first time through a mobile device, you can have a full list of all your sports and have a way to send out a custom push notification through the Create Hub message screen here, where you simply choose a sport, type your message, submit hub message, and a custom push notification will go out to your fans. And a good example of those push notifications is what you can see here on the screen, from final score notifications to broadcast notifications and so much more. Jumping back over to the home screen there, the bottom row there, right below the key banner ads that your school and others will have the opportunity to sell on in order to include those local sponsors that want to showcase themselves outside of just being throughout your facilities on print advertising. Now they can have the opportunity to be on 24/7 advertising. That bottom row there that I was mentioning has a bunch of key different tools for fans to go to, from broadcasting, from the NFHS question that was asked prior. You can see a full list of your upcoming broadcast schedules. Click on that particular event, see a set a reminder, click the broadcast. And if you are using e-ticketing that we'll go over here momentarily, you'll be able to see that and get your tickets directly from this screen as well. If you're wanting the latest results, you can click the results tab and easily get a full layout of everything that's going on at your athletic program and seeing everything for every single sport being equitable, Title IX compliant, which a lot of athletic programs strive to do, and making sure that everyone has their scores perfectly laid out for fans to easily find. Sponsors have the best way to lay out themselves and showcase that they are supporting your school, and fans have an easy way to direct themselves to their websites or give them a phone call. Last key thing here on the main page is our scheduling and rosters and teams. As you can see, it's easy to choose on the select team icon. You select what team you want to follow. In this instance, I'm just going to go ahead and just stick with consistencies here. As you can see, football with the full layout of the football schedule for this past season for the Highland Park Scots. You can take a look at their rosters, news, and lastly, even media, a full photo gallery laid out so fans can easily take a look at those photos, save those photos. And for parents that want to share maybe a photo of their kid that's a student athlete and a grandparent that's not as tech savvy, they can easily share that to them via text, email, or even share it on social media. The best way to highlight kids and the best way to highlight individual programs while being equitable and Title IX compliant. So I'm going to take a pause here before I go more in depth on the app. Does anyone have any further questions?
Yes, we have a question. You mentioned messaging. Could that replace the Remind messaging app?
Great question. There are two different pieces to messaging that we want to highlight with that. And I think that this will hopefully answer your question. And if you do have any further questions, we'd love to take you up on a live demonstration one-on-one to make sure you get all the information on it. Going back to the home screen, I mentioned the hub alerts, announcements, and forms. You can use this Create Hub message tool to directly interact with your entire fan base via custom push notification, where you just type out your text. And then lastly, just click that send push notification to mobile app subscribers. Check that to be green, submit hub message, and that goes out to your entire fan base. We also have a ready to easy to use group messaging feature via the admin menu, where your staff and your coaches will have their username and password to log in, and they can create a group message where parents, fans, community members that are fans, and then lastly, staff members can join via group code, designate what they are, and then there can be a one-way group messaging tool, allowing you to not have to worry about all the different tools that coaches or people may use on a day-to-day basis. You can consolidate it all down to this mobile app property that fans will become accustomed to very quickly.
And Lev, the athletic director can actually see all the group messages that go out, right? So they have access to all of them.
Correct. Great point on that. Athletic directors and administrators can make sure that they are added to every single group and managing every single message and seeing everything that's going on, from read receipts, who sent the messages, and what groups it was sent to. So a really great way for you to facilitate all the communication and seeing what's going on throughout your entire program. Great point, Jen. All right, do we have any further questions before I proceed?
Nope.
All righty. Well, we're here on the admin menu, and that's the last key point here I wanted to showcase before we transition to our website styles that I think everyone really enjoys taking a look at. And that is from being able to send final scores. For the first time ever, sports outside of just the usual win and loss scores or sports will have the opportunity to showcase themselves and what's going on in their programs. For a coach, they log in just like they did for that group messaging that I mentioned before. They go to enter scores. They choose which sport they want to enter a score for. And let's say I'm the swimming coach and I want to enter my final score for this varsity swimming meet. at the UIL 5A state championship. I just click my enter score and this pop-up screen shows up for me, and it's super simple and well laid out for me. But I don't have a hard win. I don't have a win and loss. It's a swim meet. So I can click custom scoring and physically type out my custom score of first place, second place, whatever it may be. And that way you have the opportunity, your coaches have the opportunity to type out the way they want to communicate to their fans of how their individual teams are performing. So a great additional tool for them outside of what, a typical sport may have for a win and loss and throughout their entire season. And one last point I want to interject about this as well with these scores. If you are a customer using API tech or using scheduling roster technology such as Rank One, Arbiter, Dragonfly that you saw within those industry leaders slide that we showed previously, we can go more in details with you through a private one-on-one webinar. But to make a long story short, we can use their technology to integrate into your mobile app and website and allow your coaches to be coaches instead of content entry people, tying in their schedules and their rosters and so much more into your property. Last key feature that I really think a lot of people are going to enjoy is when you can't get your photos from your photographers for photo day for your teams and you want to get that content up showcasing your student athletes, the edit roster photos feature is one that I think you'll really enjoy. So choosing edit roster photos, you'll have a full layout here of everything going on from the different teams, and you can choose whichever one it may be. So I'm going to go ahead and choose track and field girls varsity. And I'm going to see a full layout of the full roster here for all the different girls throughout the team. We're going to go ahead and just choose one that had a picture previously or one that didn't. Elle Muckner, if I butchered the name, I do apologize if Coach Bailey is watching the stream. All you have to do is click that student athlete. You can upload the photo if it's directly within your mobile device, Android or Apple, or you can use your camera. Nowadays, cameras and technology for the latest mobile devices are up to par with even the latest cameras. Now, professional photographers may disagree, but it still is an HD photo that can fit perfectly into your device. So I hit camera, it'll ask for permission to take a photo. As you can see, this exquisite photo of my drapes here, my door. Hit take picture, save photo, and it will immediately update to your app and your website, giving you that immediate content tied to that athlete, allowing them to have a photo tied to their full profile. And we'll go into more details about that shortly. Then save photo, and it's on your app and your website. So that's all that we're going to be covering on the mobile app today. Does anyone have any further questions before I jump over to our website styles?
How can we use Hometown e-ticketing? How can you explain how that works with the app? If I could read, sorry.
Absolutely. With all of our e-ticketing partners that we use, all being great industry leaders, Hometown Ticketing is one that sits perfectly into your mobile app. And I'll also make sure throughout the website style that we highlight how that looks as well. So we're going to transition over to the Waxahachie Indians over there in Waxahachie, Texas, and showcase how this looks today. So a fan still goes directly to your app. They don't have to worry about going to an alternative site. They open the app and easily click the side menu there, and you'll see a full layout of all the different options as we were going through that full presentation before, and easily just click the tickets button. Once they click that, Hometown Ticketing will have its embedded ticket profile there for you to choose all the different events that you may have, and they can easily get tickets, purchase it, and redeem it at the gate. Now, this does vary in terms of overall workflow for a fan in terms of purchasing, redeeming at the gate, depending on your individual partners. And so for that, we do want to make sure that we get with you one-on-one to make sure we answer all the questions with whoever you work with. But this will be for Hometown in particular. Great question, though. All righty. If we don't have any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and transition over to websites. If anyone wants me to jump back to the app, please let me know, and we'll make sure to do so. So as I mentioned, website styles. One thing that we wanted to make sure when we brought the website styles to the fold is to make sure that you have the opportunity to choose which style best fits you, not just one template, one style that you're forced into. You choose one that best fits you and your athletic program. So we're going to highlight a few key things throughout all 6 of these, and whichever one interests you the most, we can make sure to go more in details with you personally. So as you can see, we'll just go through a few pieces here, and then also highlight the system that runs it all, the key, the keys to the engine there. As you can see at Little Elm High School, speaking on just their front page here, a vertical menu, a style that is meant to be simplistic and easy to use for any athletic program, whether they have a lot of content or no content at all. That vertical menu allows fans to go outside of just the top navigation bar that they see up top from sports to LEHS. They can see it word for word on the left-hand side, as well as their 2 feeder schools right below their main Little Elm logo. Jumping over to Bryan ISD, those alerts front and center. When fans come directly to your website, they don't have to worry about trying to figure out what about physical forms, what about participation forms. An easy to find, right in their face, red alert pop-up screen that allows them to click a direct link to get to the information they need to in order to make sure that they're doing everything they need to make your athletic program run smoothly.
And Lev, these are the hub messages, correct?
Correct. These are the hub messages that you're using through the app. It goes on the app and the website simultaneously. The district website here, you notice this is Bryan ISD here in Bryan, Texas. They have 2 high schools that go into one district platform. You'll have the option to have your main district website with the option to click Bryan High School or Rudder High School. And when you click it, you just go directly over to Bryan High School's website with their information centered around them. But building a sports network is about having that unified feel at the center. And so having your website with a style of both logos on the side, having some pictures showing that, but also a list of upcoming games, color-coded based on obviously the style that you choose. This varies amongst each of them. But for this one in particular, color-coded, allowing you to see the Rudder, the Bryan games, and not having to worry about who is who. Lubbock Cooper, thriving with having pictures running down the side, highlighting the different athletes throughout their program that make it who they are, but also with a social media profile with Twitter and Facebook directly tied in via API. So that way you can see the latest updates going on with each team and everything that the athletic director is showing on those different profiles. Going to an HD news image front and center on the front page. This is when we start to elevate a little bit of the difficulty and making sure that you have the best capabilities to make your platform and your program stand out from the rest. An HD style image that you can make a news story if you so choose by tying a link into it. Fans can click on it, get the latest details on it, but also take a look at the latest news, headlines, articles, archive video. So outside of streaming, if they want to stream, they can also archive that video and show the latest highlights directly from your sports network. We mentioned Highland Park, so we got to show the website to it too, the full circle here. As you can see, those HD images still remain front and center as it goes through of being Title IX compliant, but also hitting on a photo gallery with the Fightin' Scots, but not just one team in particular, making sure you saw the media back on the app for the individual football page, but also you see here it being equitable, showing every single team from girls varsity cross country to boys baseball to football. You have the tools at your disposal to make sure every team showed equally. And not just that, but when you click the sports drop down in the very top navigation bar there, you can click any different team, including track and field girls, and have an HD image on the front page sitting right there. And that's something that a lot of teams and a lot of programs really enjoy having there. So that way their student athletes can be showcased and their program can be shown in a professional manner, much like collegiate programs nationwide. With a full composite schedule still shown there, with the latest news tied specifically to that team, along with the links and forms that are specific to girls track and field. And all that to say, it's right back on your mobile app as well. Fans don't have to worry about going to a website. They can have it right there in the palm of their hands as well. Once they get out of that front page, their schedules, their rosters, the coaches with a full, well laid out staff directory that can include biographies about those coaches as well. And lastly, that news as well as those hub notifications that was asked about earlier and sending out those custom messagings. You can see the announcements, forms, and links tied directly to that sport on this page here. And if you're one of those that wants to have, and you're a photo-driven, content-heavy school, and you want an HD image that sits front and center on the entire web browser page, even if you hit the F11 key and it's just sitting all over there, this is the style for you, the Jumbotron style, with HD images sliding through front and center with your logo sitting up top, but also a really easy to find call to action broadcasting notification for girls varsity soccer versus Pleasant Grove for Pittsburgh High School. You can click the radio or play icon and go directly to that broadcast page. If they are in fact streaming, that broadcast will immediately pull up for them. But not just that, you want to have the ability for your fans to click any sport that they want to watch. So if you're a school that's thriving on streaming or wants to know more, you can stream as many events as you want, giving you that March Madness types feel. Granted, this is, we're doing this stream on March 4th today, so it's perfectly centered around March Madness for basketball. But your fans can click any sport they want to watch by clicking the red arrow icon for that upcoming broadcast page on the right side here. So no matter how many events you're streaming at once, they can click any event they want to watch and easily find it and access it. So I'm going to take a pause. That was a long moment there. Before we transition over to the content system and showing a few little key niches there, do we have any questions on the floor?
Yes, we do. So we've seen a couple of the logos up there in that upper right corner, and then there were some banner ads there. How do our products generate revenue for my school?
Great question. We're going to transition back over to the PowerPoint slide here real quick. That way we can show that. Advertising is big, and we mentioned that on the initial part of the webinar, speaking on how you can use that to kind of elevate outside this print advertising at your school. This is a well laid out imagery of what all advertising you have to sell for your school, from banner ads that your sponsors can be a part of, or even being a presenting sponsor. Now we can go into more details with that in a one-on-one webinar, but you see there's plenty of different opportunities for your sponsors to get involved and place themselves throughout your athletic property without making it a NASCAR field where it's overly saturated. We wanted to make sure that you easily have all those different pinpoints for your sponsors to get maximum viewership.
All right, one more question. Can booster clubs use the app for registration?
Yes, they can. Booster clubs can be tied in directly into your mobile app and your website as well. You'll notice here with Aledo High School, you can click the booster club page and see different options from the quarterback club merchant store. But we have an in-house built booster club registration tool that fans can log in and access. We're going to go ahead and jump over to a team that's currently using their program right now, South Lake Carroll. As you can see, a professional laid out platform here for the CABC and Bill Webb, the great job they do over there. But if the fan wants to sign up, an easy sign up button located here. Once you sign in the first time, you'll see the available registrations where fans can choose all their different packages. We're not going to go into everything for South Lake Carroll, but you can choose the different packages, highlight which students that you're either the parent of or that you're supporting, and choose from an array of different packages. So your booster clubs have the maximum amount of possibilities to integrate themselves into your athletic program and maximize their revenue as well.
Follow-up question to that. Can we use that same registration tool for camps?
We do in fact have a camp registration tool. So for fans that want to use camps, highlighting back over to Highland Park, you'll see within Inside Athletics, they have camps where you can sit there and choose whichever camp you want to go. For example, the Scott's baseball camp. You can see a brochure for those camps, but also register for it online. So once you log on for the first time, you'll see a full layout of the participant information, the description of that camp, and pay for it entirely online with a full comprehensive report for whoever is managing the finances on the back end. They can export that document and keep track of all the athletes that are joining. And that way you don't have to worry about a print fill out or a paper fill out and money exchange there on site, especially in the COVID era where that's so touchy nowadays. Any other questions?
Not right now.
All righty. We're gonna go to the last piece here, and that is our content management system. The keys to the engine, I like to say. We're gonna go ahead and use the Mascot Media High School example here. So the biggest things I wanted to highlight on this is one, news. Many athletic directors that we've worked with throughout my time personally and our different development team members, coaches and athletic administrators always ask, well, what about posting news? How easy is that for our coaches to do if they want to do that? And that's always a great question. You easily can click news on the left-hand side there and see a full layout of the most recent news. Add an article, a coach It's a step-by-step process. It's meant to be laid out easily for them to understand, comprehend, and put their stuff in they need to without trying to overcomplicate the system. They choose the team that they're writing an article about, be it boys varsity basketball. Choose a high-res image that they want to upload. So in my case, I'm going to go ahead and choose an image. Choose my high-res image, and then put that exact same image in the mobile, or if I have a different one, if I want to. Title the article, whoever the author may be. Source the article, whether it was in-house from the school or a third party, but also an article link option here. And this is big for those schools that have newspapers or entities that write a lot about their athletic programs. You can use this article link option here, and it ties right back into your app and your website on that news story. And when a fan clicks on it, it'll give them a brief ESPN type preview with a link to click and go look at the full article. Not trying to steal from those newspapers, but also highlighting them and enhancing their viewership and making them feel better about highlighting your athletes on a day-to-day basis. Lastly, just pasting that article body. And if you do have some videos in your school's thriving with video content, you can even embed a YouTube video there as well and have that within the news story itself. And then lastly, add article, and that's up and running. Website content. Want to highlight one thing in particular. Many other schools have complaints or concerns about this top navigation bar that we talk so much about throughout the different presentations, whether it was on the vertical or the top. You can manage that, and we can help you manage that and assist you as a support team. As you can see on the navigation bar up top, or right here within website content, you have a full, easy to comprehend layout there of your top menu headers, and you can manage that however you see fit. So if you want your facilities under Inside Athletics, or you want your rosters underneath some other system, you can move those things around and make it your own sports network. I'm gonna pause for a second because last time I went quite a bit there. Do we have any other questions on the floor?
We're all good.
We're good? Perfect. I just know I was a little long-winded last time, so I want to make sure that Next up is a staff directory. Showcasing your staff in a professional manner is also key. So we're gonna go ahead and transition back over to the PowerPoints to make sure that this is showcased professionally here. Highlighting your facilities. As a superintendent, as an athletic director, you spend so much money on these facilities. Why not try to showcase them on your app and your website in a professional manner and making sure that they get the views that they deserve? So here are some good visual examples, and how to manage that is super simple. So I'm gonna tab back here. It's under that same umbrella, website content, facilities, and we assist you with making this easy to understand and comprehend. It's just adding a facility, typing that name, the description of it, and you can go in and edit and add those images, add those information, add that address information. And that way you can have it back on that PowerPoint slide there, as you saw, a professional layout of your facilities. The last point before we come to a conclusion here is staff directory on your websites, and speaking on highlighting all of your coaches. For family members coming into your community, one thing they want to know is who's coaching their kids. And our app and websites do a phenomenal job at showcasing those staff members and those coaches with bios, emails, contact information, and the sports that they coach. And that way, those parents and those new people coming into your community never have a shadow of a doubt of who's going to be there taking care of their wrestling program, basketball program, girls track and field, or bowling. So with that, that concludes this overall presentation. Thank you again so much for taking the time today. Does anyone have any other further questions for me before I hand it back off to Jen?
Nope, I think you were quite concise, so I think we answered everyone's questions.
Awesome, thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you so much, Lev, and thank everybody for joining us today. Again, we're going to be sending out this recording with a link to sign up for an individual demo, as well as posting this to our LinkedIn. So please feel free to share it with anybody that couldn't join today. And you can sign up for a demo to learn more about our products and how we can fit your individual school's needs. And we look forward to working with you. Thank you, everybody.